welcome to Convo Fango. Today we are talking about the Chainsaw Awards. This is when I need Jason to edit in the chainsaw. We got the writer and director of the 2023 award show, Michael Varrati, in the house.
Well, hello. I am so excited to be here with you, mostly because it's the week of. We're here, the celebration, but also because you and I got to spend a lot of time together over the course of the making of the Chainsaw Awards. You play a prominent role in the ceremony. I don't know what spoilers we can give, but it feels like a celebratory week.
It's very much a celebratory week, and that is, if you don't know me, I love celebrations, guys. So this is extremely my shit. I love horror and I love celebrations, and that's what this whole week is about. So I'm here for it. What was your favorite part of this whole journey, would you say?
I think that for me, the best part of it was the actual shooting of the awards, which we shot over the course of 2 days at Wolfpack Studios in Burbank. We got an amazing array of presenters and guest stars and little cameos. And yeah, it was very stressful to try and get all of these amazing people into the schedule. But when we set out and did it, and it happened, and it was sort of like a who's who soiree, and it was just really like a lovely couple days that, even though it was stressful, it felt fun, and I really enjoyed being there and seeing everyone and seeing their excitement about being part of this thing that is a celebration of this genre we all love.
I love that you mentioned that, because literally everyone that showed up was so excited to be there. Like, we were stoked to be making this and celebrate the people that we want to celebrate, like the best of horror this year. But everyone that showed up was just so excited to be there for the same reason. Like, we're all fans, which is the coolest part about it.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things where this genre specifically allows you to be part of it and also celebrate it in a way that I can't think of other aspects of the industry that do that,
Right. Yeah. Do you ever stop like in the middle of it, and like, I know it's like stressful and there's like a million things going on, and you have like, I'm like, Michael, excuse me, one more question for you. But are you ever like just kind of stop and be like, fuck, okay, that was cool. Like, that was a cool moment. Like, just let me just stop and register that moment because that was fucking cool.
Yeah, there were a few moments like that. The days were very packed. I mean, I think on one day we got through something like 40 presenters. And so there weren't a lot of moments where I was able to literally pause and take it all in. But I remember there was a point where a very, iconic person who secrets stepped out onto the stage, asked me a question. I did the direction, and then I paused and I was like, oh, I just directed this person who's a literal legend, and they're excited to be here doing my script on the set that my partner built. And it's like, oh my gosh, this is amazing,
I love that. I'm always like, please, like, take time. Like, I know there's not really time, but just take 3 seconds just to be like, okay, just make a mental note to come back to this, because like 13-year-old version of you is freaking the fuck out, and like, you're living your dream right now. So just make sure you go back to that and like fully appreciate it,
Exactly. Yeah. No, it was a really marvelous experience. It was really great to work with David Dastmalchian again. And of course, to get to bring my dear girlfriend Peaches Christ into the fold as the co-host this year. She joined David as one of the co-hosts, and Peaches and I get to work together all the time. But I think to see her and David together, and their energy is just so good. I think people are going to be so excited. It's really special, and it was special to me.
You've likened this to the Muppet Show. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Which is very accurate, I will say, actually.
Oh, thank you. No, I think that while this is still an award show, and that is a very functional kind of television special, we have nominees, we have categories, we have to give an award. Because it's Fangoria and because it's horror, we're allowed to play in ways that other award shows aren't. And so when I was sitting down to write the script for this, I was thinking, like, of my kid self, what would I imagine backstage at the Fangoria's Chainsaw Awards to look like? And that's what I wrote. So there are a lot of sketches that reveal the behind the scenes. We get to go behind the scenes with David and Peaches as they prepare to host. We get to see you backstage creeping around and discovering that maybe there are slashers and monsters and creepy creepersons going around. And that's just par for course because it's the Chainsaw Awards.
Right.
And so I really thought about that Muppet Show energy where, of course, during the Muppet Show, they're giving a performance for an audience, but sometimes the wackiest, most interesting things are also happening backstage. And that's how I wrote this award show. And I would like to think I pulled it off. Again, it's for the audience to decide, but I had a lot of fun doing it.
I love that so much. And I was so excited when you first pitched that element of it. I was like, oh, interesting. And then I saw the script and I was like, fucking nailed it. And then just like having it come to life, I was like, this is great because it does it like you said, it's very functional. We have a presenter, they present, we have a winner and they accept, and then we have a presenter and they present. It's all functional, but it's like, it can be a little monotonous. So you kind of, and this is horror, this is Fangoria, you shook it up a little bit, and we have these little bits where it's not gets a little bit chaotic in a good chaotic kind of way.
Yeah, well, and the nice thing about horror is it allows us to flip the script, because not only are there sketches, but then there are things that I think the audience will think are awards, or they will think are part of the normal ceremony, and then it will go askew because we're allowed to do that. I don't think the Oscars can do that. So
take that, Oscars. Suck it. Is there anything that you think people are going to be very particularly surprised by? I mean, we can't give any spoilers, but I know there were things that I was like, oh, I was some of the winners I was surprised by, just because I was like, this is going to be the clear-cut front runner most likely, and I was surprised. But we've also had I think we had way more votes this year than we did last year, so I think there's some surprises in there.
Yeah, and I think that's exactly it. Those are going to be the surprises because the people truly made their voices heard. And I think that if you're only listening to a small pocket of social media, or maybe just your group of friends and the horror movies you're talking about, you might be missing the larger conversation. And some of the movies that won, or some of the people that won, really, really are an example of just the sheer commitment and devotion of the fan base, in the multitudes, the thousands of people who voted. And so I think it's really, I don't know if it's a surprise, but I think it's nice to know that all of these winners were voraciously supported into their wins. So
yes, I will say I had a really hard time voting, actually, because almost in every category I'm like, okay, obviously I love all of the nominees, but
right.
most of them I was like, fuck, I have tied for first place, like a 3-way tie for first place, and I just had to kind of battle royale it out for a lot of these.
It was not an easy ballot this year, because so many of these movies and performers and everything in between, they all showed up. I mean, let's face it, this was a great year for horror. And even if your favorite didn't win, if they're part of the show, they won anyway, because you were the ones who got them there.
Yes. This is very much I like to say, you guys, you created this show. The nominees are there, the winners are there because you voted for them. You turned out this year, so you pretty much created this show, and the show is very much made for you.
It's true. And anytime someone has approached me and said, well, why wasn't this on the ballot? And I'm like, well, it's up to you. So next year, be louder. Yeah.
Next year, rock the boat, bitches. We told you.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Is there anything else you would like to share with us about the show before we go?
No, just that it's a lot of fun. It is really a wild and woolly night of horror celebration. And I think that what's really great is the Chainsaws, in all of its many tendrils, showcase everything that horror can be, all the things we love about the genre and all the subgenres. And really, the people there were excited to be there. I think that we were excited to make it. The fans were excited to vote. It's a night to celebrate, so just have a good time.
Well done. You want to take us out with your announcer voice? Where and when can we watch the Chainsaw Awards?
You can watch the Chainsaw Awards when they air live on Shudder on May 21st at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then when it gets added to the Shudder catalog, I believe the next day, forever and always till the end of time, until they decide otherwise. But also, make sure to tune in at least 30 minutes in advance to the Red Carpet Pre-Show, hosted none other than you.
Oh, yes. Please tune in for the pre-show.
And you know where that's happening. That's on YouTube, yes?
It's going to be on our socials, but definitely on our YouTube. So make sure you tune into the YouTube. We'll have all the details there. And at least 30 minutes before the show, I would say, walk in the red carpet, saying hello to our guests before we get you primed for the Prime Muppet Hour.
Yay.
Yay. All right, Michael, thank you so much. I'm so proud of you and everybody, honestly. I just feel like when you watch something come like this from the inception, and then you see it become this actual living, breathing thing. It's just always so exciting. And I saw the blood, the sweat, and the tears that went into this. So it's like I just feel like a proud mom of everybody. And I'm like, oh, everyone did so well.
Well, I appreciate your words. I thank you for being there for the journey and for all you contributed. And I'm just excited now for people to tune in. So do that. Tune in.
Yay! And then tag us, hashtag Chainsaw Awards. I want to see your fits. I want to see your snacks. I want to see your reactions. Don't yell at us though. Just tag us in the nice stuff.
But I would really like to see their snacks. Like I want to know what
I really want to see. I love a themed menu. I love themed cocktails. I'm like, I want to see your drinks, your snacks, and your outfits. Yes,
absolutely.
All right, it's a party.